Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of JForex Indicators Explained, we will be looking at a pattern recognition named as shooting star. This is a bearish reversal pattern which is recognized for finding the opportunities of the trend reversal if we have already seen a bullish move in the instrument of our choice, any instrument for that matter. It works well with the commodities. It works well in forex as well as in equities. So this is a formation which you can reliably use in most of the financial instruments. And the requirements are that there should have been substantial run on the bullish side prior to this formation. And after that, if we see a shooting star formation, we consider it as a sign of possible reversal. And this can then utilized as in two possible ways. One is to, of course, for profit booking. If you had any open long position, you can go for a closing and some profit booking in that trade. And if you want to start looking for the opportunities, new opportunities to trade, you can go for it. The short sale trades can be initiated after this formation takes shape on the chart. So let us now head to the JForex 4, the newly released trading platform from the Dukascopy Bank SA. This is the Euro USD chart with the candle period defined at hourly. Now to find out the opportunities, you can add this indicator using these two options, add indicator and quick search. If you simply type in shooting star, you will have this indicator plotted. There is one formation here. We are getting a couple of examples. I will enlarge the chart. Let's zoom in a bit. This I think formation is from last session. I will remove this indicator. Now coming to the shooting star combination, it's very essential to pay attention to where it has formed. Now in this case, there has not been any substantial upward move prior to this formation, so we will have to overlook it. Let us go back in time. Now in this case, there was indeed a substantial run on the higher side, and then this shooting star formation happened, and after that we saw this steep decline. Now let us look for some more examples. It seems to have not really formed. Okay, here it is, one case. In this case also, there was not much of a move on the upside prior to this formation. And here we are seeing that the price action remained sideways. In this case also, not much of a movement. Here, maybe you can consider it as this was almost half a percentage point move on the higher side. Okay, so I have given you some of the examples of where this formation is taking shape and how we can utilize it. Now let's look at the basic concept of this shooting star combination. In this case, we need that the closing price and the opening price should have this upward move. Its closing price needs to be higher compared to the opening price. That is one requirement. But whatever is the real body, that is the difference between the opening and the closing price of this candlestick, that difference is taken into consideration, and the upper shadow, the difference between these closing price and the high of this candle, needs to have the difference that is twice of this real body. So this shadow on the upper side needs to be quite long compared to the real body of the candle. That is one requirement, and this requirement should be fulfilled for the candle to be recognized as a shooting star. So in this case, it is indeed having this large shadow on the upper side, which is almost more than twice of this real body. If we look at the other examples, we will get more clarity. Here in this case, this shadow is not really that large as compared to the real body of the candle. In this case also not that big. In this case, it is not really convincing. Again, there is not much of an volatility in this particular candle formation of the shooting star. So not all the formations of the shooting star recognized on the chart are going to be usable. In this case, we have this large move prior to the formation. Then this difference between the opening and the closing price is not really that big. But in comparison to these difference, the difference between the closing price and the high of the candle is multiple times. So in this case, we are seeing the requirement of this large candle shadow is being fulfilled from the upper side, and then we got this reversal. You will have to always consider when this formation is taking shape and in what combination it is forming, so you get a better idea, and also the context of that formation is very important to figure out the opportunities. So this is a basic requirement. Then after this formation, pay attention to the price action. The next couple of candles are going to be important, and if we see the price reversal being confirmed, I think after providing some buffer above this immediate high of this candle formation, we can indeed look for initiation of the short sale trades and expect the price to decline while keeping the stop loss sharp. And as you can notice on the chart also, not all the formations of the shooting star are going to be profitable. And as I said, we also have to pay attention to the formation's location. It should be forming only after substantial price rise. So it will give you a higher probability of getting the trade sentiments right. If it is forming in a sideways environment, it is not really going to be much successful. And also from this example, you can notice that next couple of candles are very important. If we see the continued rise in the next 2 or 3 candles, then we should give up on this formation and not really get involved in the trade. And only if we see that after the shooting star formation, if the price is sideways or if it is trading below the high point of this shooting star formation, that is going to have much more reliability, and we can also have sharp stop loss, as we are going to keep the stop loss just little above the immediate formation. So in this context, you can see that this trade would have been eliminated, and also the two other criterions I talked about are also going to make sure that this kind of situation can be eliminated. But still, we do have to keep in mind that not all the time the shooting star combination is going to work. You will see sometimes it will work, sometimes it will not, and to make the system profitable, you will always have to keep the risk reward ratio accordingly while being aware of the possibility of the loss. Now, let us take into consideration some more examples. This is a rare combination. It is not going to form too frequently, but I think if we use it judiciously, it is going to be providing us quite excellent opportunities to profit. Now, in this case, it has indeed spotted this reversal. We have this fulfilling of the first criterion, that there should have been substantial price rise prior to the formation. Then there is this large shadow in comparison to the real body of the candle, which is really small. But whatever it is, we indeed have this shadow, which is more than twice of this real body of the candle. Let us look at other example. In this case, it is not really showing any signs of reversal in next couple of candles, and it is going on to rise above this immediate swing high, and also it is not forming after substantial price rise. It is forming in a sideways environment. So all these conditions taken together would eliminate this kind of trades. So I hope you got the point how this formation works, its underlying logic, and when to utilize it and when to overlook it. Overlook it. All these things I have talked about, and you will always have to keep the possibility of being wrong in mind and plan accordingly. Now let's consider the customization for the input. There is nothing we can do in terms of the input. All we can do is go for different color combinations for the output. So if you like brighter colors, maybe you can go for of the bracket. The style can be bracket, or you can go for full shading of the candle as well. So these two options are there. Advanced, you can opt for recalculate on new candle only. So once the candle formation stabilizes, only after that we will have the formation recognized on the chart. Highlight the time period zone. This is a single candle formation, so it is not going to make much of a difference. This has been disabled. Calculate from custom data, as we can't customize the input parameters. Show indicator on all the periods. This has been a useful property. So if you don't really want this indicator to be available on all the periods, if you have different indicators added on different time frames, you can specify on particular time frames it should be available. So now I have opted for hourly and 5 minutes. So only on these two time frames we will see the shooting star formation being recognized on the chart. In other times it will not be noted. So if I go for 10 minutes or any other candle period, you won't see the shooting star combination recognized on the chart by the platform. So that's how this system works. So you can have multiple indicators on different time frames while ensuring that the chart is not looking too cluttered. So this is the system. Now let me revert back to Euro USD and the hourly time frame, so that we have the shooting star combination recognized on the chart. Now I will opt in for again the show indicator on all the periods. So this is all from my side for today's session. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, do write to me in the feedback and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. There is also one interesting addition of the new feature on the platform. You can have this hot list feature on the platform. Let me zoom out and explain to you its utility, its properties. With this feature, you can have the happening stocks, the stocks which are seeing increased price activity, substantial increase or decrease in your chosen time frame will be shortlisted and it will be visible. So if you are looking for active stocks to trade in any current hour, you can go for this list and see which which stocks are moving higher or lower, and then decide your trading strategy accordingly. Even for day, you can set this criterion: day, week, month, 3 months, 6 months. All these options are there. So try it out. It's going to give you insight into the volatile stocks, and then you can devise the system to profit from that increased volatility. So that's all from my side for today's session. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, do write to me in the feedback. For further coverage of the market developments, do check out the Dukascopy Analytics page. We are also available on the Facebook. You can reach out to us there too. For trying out the newly released trading platform, the link has been included in the bio. Give it a try and give the feedback as well.